Hey guys, this is the look that I have created today. If you'd like to see how I created this look, then keep watching this tutorial. I will let you know I get a little bit rambly at the end, so feel free to just cut it off. I hope you like it. Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial over my contouring and highlighting, and also that dark look that I posted the other day on Facebook. I've had a lot of requests for that look and also how I do contouring and highlighting. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, so first I'm gonna show you the products that I use or have been using. So first, I'll start with this Sephora. It's called Tint Infusion in the shade 20, which is cream. And I start out with the foundation first, and then I'm going to be going in with the Anastasia cream contour kit in the shade light. The colors on this palette are different than the ones that you currently get in the lightest shade palette, so I'm not sure where they changed them, or if you can get, I hope I can get these again because I'm almost out. So for baking and just like regular setting powder, I'm going to be using L'Oreal's Hydra Perfect in the shade translucent. So translucent powder is really good for contouring, like sharpening up your contour edge, and then for baking, which is basically when you put powder on your face and the heat from your skin kind of cooks the makeup into your skin, which sounds kind of like, it sounds kind of weird, but oh well, whatever. What do we do? For bronzer, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild ColorIcon in the shade Ticket to Brazil. This was like $4 at Walmart, so super good deal. It's just like a pretty neutral brown shade. It works really well with my skin tone. For blush, I'm going to be using the Morphe 9N palette. I recently got this probably like last month, and it's a bunch of like coral shades, kinda. Like, they're really pretty. I have another blush palette by them, but I prefer this one. And then for eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the Morphe 35T palette, which I really love. It's got lots of warm and just like romantic colors. I really like it. If you've never used Morphe, I suggest that you try it out. Look on their website, because I got this palette shipped to my house, everything for like $27. Which is pretty good considering that the Naked palette, which I currently have right here, the original Naked palette, which you can see I've hardly used, was like 42 or 50 or something insane. In any case, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The first thing that I always do is I damp my beauty blender. If you've never used a beauty blender, I would recommend getting one. All right, so this is not a real beauty blender. I got this at TJ Maxx. It was $4. I really like the texture of it and the shape of this particular one. I have never purchased an actual beauty blender because they are $20. No thank you. Everything that I have here was either purchased on sale on Poshmark or is already so cheap that, you know. So yeah, if you've never used one, I suggest that you try to find one. I know Real Techniques has one. Even ELF has one right now. So in any case, definitely do that. You always want to wet it first. Okay, let me focus this back on my face. And okay. All right, so I'm going to start out with my foundation, and I always put a drop or like a pump or whatever on the back of my hand just so I can see how much I'm getting. And then I'll dab it on my face. Whatever. All right, so I'm going to take my beauty blender and I will dab. I'm pressing the foundation into my skin. If you've never used a beauty blender and you prefer like a brush or something, the way that these work is they're kind of hydrating because they're wet, obviously. They disperse the foundation really evenly, And they also pick up any extra product that was not pressed into your skin. So it leaves your skin looking more flawless and less cakey or streaky, which can happen if you just have like a bunch of product that you're just kind of like swirling around and trying to blend out, but ultimately will just stay on your skin. Okay, sorry, my mirror's over here, so that's why I'm looking off to the side. All right. Okay, so once that is pretty blended out, I'm gonna be doing a ton of blending anyway today because I'm going to be contouring and highlighting. So, all right, so for contouring, I always use a synthetic brush, contouring and highlighting. I always use a synthetic brush with these creams. I don't know if there's any particular like thing you're supposed to use with them, but this is just how I do it. I find that the synthetic brush works better for me. So I'm gonna go in with the lightest shade right here. Actually, I'm gonna mix all three of these together. That's what I always do. So I'm gonna mix all three of these together. One's like a really light shade, one's a pinker shade, and one's for yellow. I'm pretty sure that you can use the yellow one and the pink one for like color correcting, but I occasionally do that, but not very often. I just mix them all together. So I'm gonna go in like a triangle shape under my eye, a little bit under my nose because I get some redness there, and out towards my temple. Okay? I will do that on the same way on my other eye. Okay, so I finished this triangle, and yeah, I'm going to go in and I'm gonna do a line down my nose. Ooh. Let me move this just a little bit so I'm not like staring off into another dimension. Down there, down my chin. Okay. On my forehead, I'm gonna create like a triangle. This is the opposite. Okay, anyways, sorry. And then, since we're going to be contouring, I'm gonna do down my jaw. So you can see. We're gonna put that contour right above that. A little bit above that. And it'll all blend in together. And then down this jaw. If you don't get this exactly the same, like obviously these are uneven, you can always go and even it back out. That's gonna look funny. Whatever. Okay, so that one looks a little messy, but that's okay, because we're gonna go in with contour and then we're gonna blend it all out anyway, so it really won't matter. All right, so then with my other brush, this is also a contour brush. Synthetic, I mean. I'm gonna go in with my contour color, which is this dark brown. They all kind of look the same, honestly, so I'm just gonna use this one. All right, so I always start where my hair, like, kind of like at the top of my ear almost, and go down about halfway between my ear and my mouth. If you have a rounder face, you may not want to take it in so far. Because it can kind of make you look like the Joker. You don't want to do that. A little bit under your chin. Make sure this is kind of even. That's better. And then I'm going to go all around my, kind of like a halo, around my forehead. And just dabbing. I will do a little bit here on my temple and a little bit on this one. Not exactly temple, but right there above my brow. All right, for my nose, I'm actually going to contour as well, but I'm going to go, some people do a straight line down. I'm actually going to go kind of follow the line of that highlight And I'm just going to go down my nose like this. I'm actually going to contour that last. Oops. Also forgot to put highlight here. Okay. Alright, so now that that is that, I'm going to start blending, okay? This is kind of an extraneous process. Extraneous? No. This is it takes a long time. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to blend this out, and I'm going to dab, 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 and I'm going to press the product into my skin. From the start, 'cause you can't find nothing at all if there was nothing there all along. No, you can't find nothing at all if there was nothing there all along. I braved treacherous streets and kids strung out on homemade speed, and we shared a bed in which I could not sleep at all. Cause at night the sun in retreat made the skyline look like crooked teeth in the mouth of a man who was devouring us both. You're so cute when you're slurring your speech, but they're closing the bar and they want us to leave. A little bit too far with the blending, and then I'm like, I don't know what I did. This is a process for sure. I've contoured my face enough times to really know like what I'm doing. I still struggle a little bit with other people's faces simply because it's not my face and the structure is different, obviously. So you'll have to really practice and see what looks best on your face. One's like a really light shade, one's a pinker shade, and one's for yellow face. Okay, so for my nose, I'm actually going to drag the contour down. I think I got a little too much of this highlight on my nose. There we go. Yeah. And I'm just going to blend the contour down. And then blend in the highlight as well with my fingers. I'm getting a little creasy. Okay. Alright, so now for the fun part. You can see I've got a little bit of a shadow going. It's not super dramatic. Yeah, okay. Alright, so for the next step, we're going to call, this is what they call baking, which my mom says they've been doing forever, but they just call it something different. Anyways, she'll be mad I made fun of her for that. In any case, alright, so I'm going to take this translucent powder, and I'm going to use this it's a really dense, thick brush from e.l.f. I got it for it's like $3. It's super thick and really dense, and the the bristles are very short and compact, so it's good for packing on the product. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and I'm going to go right along the edge, and I'm going to follow that contour line, and I'm just going to pack this product onto my skin. Okay? I'm going to go on this side. You'll be able to see this one better. Okay? And that's going to sharpen up that contour if it wasn't quite dramatic enough. You can also deepen it up. I always like to go kind of faint with the contour, and I can always go back and deepen it up with some bronzer. So I'm not, oops, just kidding. So I'm not looking like too orange. Okay. I'm going to bake my chin. I'm going to bake my forehead, and then last I'll bake my under eyes. This process is using your body heat to cook the makeup, quote, cook the makeup into your skin so that it doesn't go anywhere all day. For me, I have found it useful to use a super translucent powder. You can also, I've seen some people who use white, wherever you can find white, but I have a fear that that will leave like flashback. I don't know if it really will or not. That's just how I feel. All right, so now that that's baking, we're gonna do the eyeshadow. So I'm gonna be using the Morphe 35T palette, which I mentioned before. And yeah, I'm going to be using several shades with this, probably close to 7, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, just kidding, 8. Don't worry. All right, so for this, I'm going to be using, first I'm going to go in and do some transition shades. This is just a Sephora fluffy crease brush. It's called Pro Crease number 10. Okay, this is probably the most expensive brush that I have ever owned, and it was $20. So not super expensive, but I mean, for a makeup brush, kinda. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do. Sorry, I've done this so many times. I feel like I've already shown you, but I haven't. So I'm gonna use these 2 colors first. These are gonna be my transition shades. I'm gonna add in this color after I've blended these out enough. So for these 2 colors, I'm going to start by, let's see, I think I'll do this. Oh, missed a step. Like I said, okay, I always want to put some translucent powder on your eyelid because this will create a nice powdery finish, and it'll dry up any kind of like moisture, like if you have put your primer on, or you have foundation or concealer or contour or whatever you have on your eyelid that might be sticky. If you go in right away with some eyeshadow, it will be patchy. It'll look really bad. So, all right. So we're going to go in with those 2 transition shades, and I'm going to focus those mostly on the outer corner and in the crease. So you can see that I'm using windshield wiper motions within the crease, and then when I get to the outer corner, I'm kind of doing like a circular motion. Alright, for that eye is done with that, so I'm going to go in with the same colors. I'm just mixing them together and then applying them. I really like this palette because it's got some really romantic colors in it. I used it on all of the girls in a wedding party that I did recently, and it really worked well. There was a pale girl, there was a girl who had some darker skin, a girl with olive skin, so lots of skin tones it seems to work on. Okay, I think I need a little bit more on this one. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm not like hunching like a hunchback. Okay. Alright. Alright, so now that I've done that, I'm going to go in with that third. It's just a light brown color. It's honestly not exactly necessary, but it has a little bit of a shimmer in it, and I just like to add it. Honestly, it probably doesn't make that much of a difference at all. All right, so now that that's done, oh, I had to make sure it was still recording. I was like, no, okay. Trust me, that has happened way too much. Sorry, I really had to make sure it was still recording. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go in with, where's my shadow brush? Okay, this is just a Mary Kay. It's called the Eye Definer. It's a shadow brush. It's real hair, and I like to use this one for, at least I think it's real hair. Yeah, I like to use it for my eyeshadow when I'm packing on just like a glitter color or just whatever I'm using on my lid. I will use this. So I'm gonna go in with 2 different colors for the lid part. I'm going to use this color, which is like a nice champagne color, and then I'm also going to go in with this pink it's kind of like pink champagne. I don't really know if you can see it on camera very well, but it's like a shiny pink sweet color. Okay, so I'm going to mix those two together, and I'm going to put those on my lid. And I'm going to do that with short packing / brushing motions. Until I have achieved the color that I want. Alright. Alright, so once that's done, now if you want a shinier lid, like if you want it to be almost metallic, you can use a synthetic brush with a little bit of Fix Plus, or so I've heard Visine works, because it has glycerin in it, and that will it will make it, you spray your brush, you put the brush in the eyeshadow, and then you will put that directly on your eyelid. It will feel wet, let it dry, air it out, and then you can blend in some other colors with it. Alright, so now that that's done, it feels like a relief to get this part recorded because I haven't recorded this part yet. You have no idea. Okay. Alright, so still cooking. Looking pretty awesome. Okay. I'm going to go in with this brush. This is the Royal and Land Nickel Crease / Smudge brush. It has a really nice tapered, where am I going? There we go. A nice tapered end to it. And then one side is a smudge brush. So I will use this for my under eyes to create that smoky look. And I use this for the inner corners. So first, the outer corners. I'm not putting dark stuff on my inner corners. Alright, so for the first 2 colors, I'm going to use this plum color and this kind of like camely chocolate color. I'm going to mix those together. And I'm going to focus those for the most part on the outer corner, but also drag it about halfway in on my crease. Just kind of deepening this look that we already have, because this brown and this purple mimic the brown and the purple that we already used. They're just deeper. So you can see I'm going about halfway in and then focusing on the outer corner. Maybe I should do it like this so that I can look more at the camera. There we go. Excellent. Okay. And then on the outer corner, again, kind of like get that color on there, and then you're going to blend it towards the center. You can always add more. It's very hard to take it away. Okay. Make sure it's still recording. Yes. Okay. All right. So now that I've deepened up the outer corners just a little bit, I'm going to go in with a third color, which is quite a bit darker, but it's plum, okay? So I'm going to go in with this dark plum color right here. I'm just going to get just the tiniest bit on the tapered end of this brush. You can kind of see it. And I'm going to tap that right on the corner. And then I'm just going to wiggle it, kind of wiggle it around in the outer corner. You can take it just a little bit further in. You can take it a little bit further in on the lid itself. But we're going to mostly focus it on the outer corner. Okay, so then that's created a little bit more of a deeper look. A little bit more smoky than that one. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to go in on the other side and do the exact same thing. You can see that I'm mostly focusing in this one particular area. I will bring it in just a little bit. There we go. I'm sorry about the quality of this video. It's definitely going to be better in the beginning than it is now. What do you do? Okay. Alright, so now that I have sufficiently blended my eyelids, okay, this one's a little bit deeper, so I'm going to go back in with this one. Just a little bit. There we go. Alright, cool. So now that that's done, I'm going to go in with a flat, super flat definer brush, which is going to be good for our under eye. Okay, so what I'm going to do is move this closer just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take those three colors that I just did. I'm going to do the brown, the plum, and this plum. I'm going to mix those all together, and I'm going to put those real close up under my lash line. Once I've done both of those, I'm going to go in with this color, which is like a deep glittery burgundy kind of color. The glitter is going to help break up the matte shadows and help create, it kind of breaks it up and helps us smoke it out a little bit more. So I'm going to go in real tight under my lash line with those three colors that I've blended together, and I'm just going to put them right under my lash line. Okay. And with the other eye. A little bit more. Right under there. Alright, so now I'm going to take my brush and put it in that glitter. It's not really glitter. And I'm going to put that right under my lash line as well, on top of those other colors. And then I'm going to use this end, my smudge brush, and I'm just going to smoke it out. I feel like this one is a little bit smokier. Okay. Alright, so now that I have done that, I'm going to go in with a different palette, with that Lorac palette. Really, all I need is a brow color, a brow bone color. So I'm going to go in with, what's that brush? With like this thin pencil-y brush. This is like a Morphe B72. It's just like a small pencil brush. Very round, dome tip, real hair, okay? And I'm just going to put that, dab it, and I'm just going to go on my eyebrow. Sometimes I'll do a shiny eyebrow, and, you know, sometimes I don't. Today, I'm just going to do this, just to brighten it back up. Now, if you feel like you have some, like, harsh lines going on with your shadow, you can always just go back, use that original brush, maybe pick up a little bit more light brown, and you can just go and blend a little bit more. Blending, blending, blending. Okay? Alright, so eyes are pretty much done for shadow. I'm going to skip some of that. I'm going to skip the rest of my eyes for right now, and I'm going to dust off my baking. So when I'm dusting off my baking, I like to get the powder on the other areas of my face that I didn't already have any translucent powder, because that will make the bronzer go on a lot smoother, because I am going to add some bronzer up here. I noticed I did not bake my forehead, like my hairline. So I'm going to dust all that off and around. Such attractive faces, right? I think we're all used to that. Okay. Alright, so you can see there's a little bit of a contour going on. Not dramatic. I mean, I guess I could wear this to school if I wanted to, but probably won't. Alright, so now that I've done that, I'm going to go in with my bronzer. Like I said before, this is the Wet n Wild ColorIcon in Ticket to Brazil. And I'm going to take this Morphe, I think it's a foundation brush, but it's got a nice shape to it, and I found that I actually just used it the other day for bronzer, and I really liked it. So, actually, no, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use this one. Okay, this is an ELF angled blush brush. I like the angle on it because when I'm trying to create a more precise contour versus just bronzing my face and making it look warmer, I want to make this look a little bit more defined. So I use this brush because it's thinner, it's more compact, it's a little bit more compact, and it just works really well. So I'm going to take my bronzer, dip my brush in my bronzer, tap off some excess, and then I'm going to follow that line, and I'm almost going to do the same motions that I used with my Beauty Blender. I'm just going to do some kind of like flicking motions. And I'm going to follow that contour. And I'm just lightly, because remember, we can build it up. And then I'll do brushing motions. Okay? So now you can see that my contour is a little bit darker. And then I'm going to take it, and I always take it into my hairline, up, and I'm basically, wherever I put that contour is where I'm going to put my bronzer. Just deepening up the color. Okay. And then on this side. I've also found that I really like the shape of this brush for getting into the hollows of my cheeks. It's not too big, it's not too small. I know I've seen a lot of videos where people they do like a real controlled contour brush, probably one that's kind of like close to this size and depth and all of that. I just haven't done that yet. I'm gonna go back, open this side. This one's giving me a little bit of trouble. This side's on fleek. This side's not so much. That's okay though. All right. Okay. All right. So now that that's done, I'll go in with my blush. I'm going to use the Morphe palette, and I'm going to pick up this real faint color. It doesn't look like it's going to have any color on it, but it does. To me, it's a nice light pink. I'll also sometimes mix them together, like mix these three or mix two of them together, whatever I'm feeling like. So I'm going to actually mix these two together. And I'm just going to pop that right above and slightly on top of the contour. And I'm going to drag it upward. In some circular motions. All right, I hope you didn't hear that. Okay, so now that my blush is on, I'm gonna clean up this area just a little bit. It's kind of crazy looking. If you feel that you have any harsh lines, like between your contour and your highlight, between your contour and your blush, or maybe this up here looks crazy, you can always go back in with your brush that you use your powder with and just kind of like even it up, blend it a little bit. Mine looks pretty good today, so I'm happy with that. All right, so for highlight, I'm actually going to use this same brush, and I'm going to be using the Becca Cosmetics Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone. So basically, the Becca highlighter in Moonstone. I got this on Poshmark for a little bit less than what it is retail. It was brand new. So I always smile, and then I brush a little bit on my cheeks. Smile. I would look really friendly if I actually smiled like this. Hi. Okay. And I'm going to brush it up onto my cheekbones. I'm going to do just a light dusting of the highlight. You can always see it. This shine. Yes. Okay. But you can always go a little bit, if you want it to be real dramatic, you can do that too. I have a friend. She knows who she is. She likes to be on that glazed donut status. That's what we call it. When you just use 2 or 3 highlighters and you just go all over the place. You want to be seen from space. She was seen from space the other night. Okay. So, up onto the cheekbones, really just following this line on my chin. I like to do it on this side of my forehead. Instead of in the center, I do it on the side, on my temple. I just feel like when I turn, I just like that look. Maybe you're a little oily, you're not feeling that, so you don't do that, okay? Alright, I'll also do it on my top lip, however you want to do that, and then on my nose. I know some people focus it with their finger. You can do that. If you have a bumpy nose, I don't know if I would recommend highlighting your nose too much. Maybe just the tip, maybe just like the straightest part. I don't know. Just because it can make imperfections pop out. All right, so now that that's done, I'm going to go in with my eyeliner. Yes. And then my brows. Yes. Which hopefully that's somewhere. Ah, here it is. All right. Okay. So, eyeliner. All right, I have this eyeliner that I bought for, it's Wet n Wild. It's called Mega Liner. It was like $3, and I'm digging it. So, I'm going to do a little bit of a wing, hopefully. Doesn't look too crazy. I'm not quite brave enough to do like a crazy wing yet, but hey. Okay. All right. I like to start out with a really thin line, as close to my lash line as I can get. Okay, and then get a little bit more, and just go up. And then you're going to want to connect those lines. So I'm going to do the other side. Let's see if I can get this a little bit more where you can see it. I'm hunching so bad. Okay. Okay, good enough. The way I see it, most people don't look at both of your eyes at the exact same time. They kind of do, but they kind of don't. And it's like, hey, your eyeliner doesn't match. Okay? Jerks if they do that. All right. So, wing eyeliner is done. Bottom lashes are done. And now I'm going to do my eyebrows. So, I found this product the other day. It's Wet n Wild, not obviously. It's Wet n Wild. This was like $2. It's basically like, it's called Brow Shaper, but it feels kind of, it's like wax, kinda. And so I've just been rubbing this on my eyebrows, And then I'll go in with this brow pencil. I actually, need another Brow Wiz pencil, but I just haven't picked one up. You know how it goes. So I actually got this one. This is Wet n Wild, and it's ColorIcon brow pencil. It comes with a spoolie and comes with a brush. And honestly, because it's so thick and it's almost like an eyeliner. The consistency is like an eyeliner. I'm actually just going to do very light brush strokes into my brows. I'm not doing any actual shaping. I'm just coloring them in just a little bit. This color is very dramatic. You can already see a difference. I'm just going to brush that into my brows just a little bit. Very lightly handed. Yeah, maybe a little bit into the tail. Okay. And then I'm going to brush that out. Because of the texture of it, it actually spreads fairly well into the rest of the brow. The color picks up a little bit on the spoolie, and I just drag that. I'm kind of glad this isn't high def right now because my eyebrows need to be plucked. They are a little wild. Okay, this looks a little patchy. A little patchy. Just a little. There we go. It's a little bit better. Alright, cool. So now brows are done, and I'm just going to do some mascara. You guys know how to put mascara on, I'm assuming. Then I'll go with my lips. I'm going to fast forward through this. This is just a volume accelerator from Rimmel. You know. You know. All right, done. I'm actually going to go in just a little bit and fix that. Getting a little bit creasy. Okay, so basically done. And need lipstick. Okay, so the other day I had this color on. It's called Witch Witch. I got it on MAC's website. It was like $12, and you know, I don't usually buy MAC lipsticks, but I said, hey, whatever, it's really cool. I don't have very many dark lipsticks. I'm kind of getting into it. Obviously won't be wearing it to school, but hey, you know, whenever you go out looking a little goth, it's a little intimidating, you know. Okay, so this is like a real purpley black. It looks like the color a witch would wear. Okay, so I'm just going to apply that, and that will complete the look. All right, so that completes this look for today. All right, so that completes this look for today. I hope that you like it. If you did, please like it. Maybe subscribe to me. I don't know how many videos I'm going to be posting, but I've been really wanting to get into posting YouTube tutorials, but I just feel like there are so many. Oh my gosh, what's going on with my hair? I just feel like there are so many out there, it's almost like not even worth it. But I mean, you know, I guess it's kind of cool to have somebody that you know doing a tutorial, you know, like, you know, they're attainable. You could say, hey, I know that person. Okay, I'm rambling, I'm sorry. All right, anyways, so I hope you like this video, and